Ah, damn it. What's up, everyone? It's Anime Tier. So today I'm going to do a reaction. It's not an anime reaction. Well, it's kind of anime related. Lucy versus Carnage Death Battle. Now I've kept up with Death Battle, like their videos every now and then. Sometimes they're right on certain things. Other times it just feels kind of controversial. But either way, I really wanted to see this because love Lucy from Elfen Lied. Seen the whole series. Great anime. Have not read the manga though, so I'm fitting to get reading into that. Carnage, who doesn't know Carnage? One of Marvel's big time baddie from the Spider-Man series. Now, I don't know if I were to think who would win. That's a tough one. Well, if I were to say who I want to win, Lucy, because she's bae, good person at heart, had a horrible tragic past, and I feel like she deserves she deserves a W. Like, she really does. Who I feel like will win? It's still kind of, I don't know, because Carnage is pretty savage, but Lucy, she has four invisible appendages outside of a normal human body. So she has 4 extra arms that's invisible to the naked eye. So with that in mind, that gives her an advantage because she can do plenty of sneak attacks and Carnage won't see it coming. Maybe, I'm not sure, unless Carnage can do things that I'm not fully aware of. Sorry about that, guys. Stupid tabs. Get off my monitor! I said get off my monitor! Okay then. So, anyway, without further ado, let's watch. I've been meaning to watch this ever since I heard of it.
Hey everybody, we have a brand new Death Battle t-shirt on the Screw Attack /Rooster store. Head to store.roosterteeth.com and you guys can pick one up. It's a great way to support the show.
That looks like a pretty good shirt, not even gonna lie.
If my ex-wives have taught me anything, it's that there's no real limit to crazy.
Like Carnage, Marvel's dangerously insane psychopath.
Yup.
Or Lucy, the messed up murder lady from Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied. It's German.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait,
He's
is it
West
Elfen
Ham
Lied or
boomstick.
Elfen
And
Lied?
it's our job
I
to
remember
analyze
that
their
old
weapons,
Spider-Man
armor, and
cartoon.
skills to
I saw
find
that
out
as a
who
kid.
would win a death battle.
Oh wow.
Cletus Cassidy didn't have the chance to be a well-adjusted adult because his entire family was already crazy. While Cletus was just a boy, his father got sent to jail for killing his mother.
Which he
Shit.
did because she had tried to kill Cletus.
Which she did because Cletus had tortured and killed her dog Fifi.
Well, go Miss Cassidy. All dog murderers deserve death, even if they're 8. Right, Jack Spaniels?
Dude, their whole
Boy.
family is
oh,
sick.
And Cletus murdered his grandma too, because she was kind of a bitch.
He didn't stop there and wound up burning down his own orphanage. Years later, he was finally arrested and convicted for 11 murders.
You mean the 11 murders they knew about?
But while in prison, Cletus found that he wasn't alone. In fact, his cellmate just so happened to be Eddie Brock.
Who you may know is that creepy guy covered in black ink called Venom.
That ink is actually a symbiotic alien known as a Clintar. This symbiote
Clintar.
bonded with Eddie, transforming him into a powerful and violent rival for the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
But what Eddie didn't know was, it was pregnant.
Yep. Yeah, I
Time
find
to go
it
out for
weird how
cigarettes, Eddie.
symbiotes get
Well,
pregnant.
symbiotes actually reproduce asexually. When Eddie became Venom once again, the symbiote sort of oozed out its spawn and left it there.
Just like me and my dad. Well, this new symbiote immediately attached itself to Cletus, but unlike the Venom one, it merged through a cut on his skin, creating this suit made out of blood.
Oh,
Ew.
so that's why it was
Seems
red.
sanitary.
And
It
together,
became
they
red because it
became
mixed with his
Carnage.
blood?
A fitting name for a psycho
I didn't
mass
know
murderer. Cletus and his new symbiote quickly got up to what they knew best, creating maximum carnage. Remember that game? It was great.
And with his new superpowers, he was a vicious force to be reckoned with. He has the same superhuman strength, speed, and durability as Venom, and supposedly even greater, like a Venom 2.0.
He can shapeshift to make all sorts of killer weapons, like axes, swords, and spikes. He can even rip those weapons off himself or launch them at his victims. Have you ever tried ripping your fingers off and throwing them at people? Because that's
crazy.
kind of what Carnage does.
The symbiote can also reach out with dozens of chaotic, blood-soaked tendrils, perfect for strangling the people he doesn't want to see anymore. With a single touch, Carnage can infect a person with a portion of his symbiote, controlling or
Infect?
torturing them at his leisure. He has
Whoa.
unbelievable regeneration, and even if somebody finds a way to disable his suit, the Carnage symbiote lives inside his bloodstream and can come back out through something as meager as a paper cut.
Also, the symbiote literally sees everything around it. It's kind of like wearing a suit made of eyeballs.
But let's say you're able to dodge his projectiles, outrun the tendrils, and get out of sight from the eyeball suit. You're still not safe. He will catch you, because he can sprout wings and fly.
What the hell? Since when?
Okay, he
Since
can
realizing
fly?
that shapeshifting is a
I didn't know
really,
that.
really useful ability.
So he's able to fly, he's totally aware of
He's
everything
very
around
versatile,
him, and he's
for
full
what?
of blood? This guy's like a giant mosquito of death.
Sure. Carnage has said he's at least 10 times faster than the average man. But that's pretty modest, because Venom has shown he can move fast enough to catch up to a bullet after it's fired. And Carnage is frequently shown to be as fast or even faster than him. This puts Carnage over 1,500 miles per hour, over twice the speed of sound.
He's lifted a 50-ton tank, and he can overpower Spider-Man, whose best supported strength feat was lifting that giant machine thing that weighed as much as a 1965 locomotive.
Which would put it around 130 tons.
And you know those weird tendril things crawling around his body? When he
Yeah,
wanted
what
to
is
find a
that?
missing journalist in New York, he climbed to the top of the Empire State Building and just stretched them all out over the city.
He found her
So
by
no one
this
can
coastline,
hide from
and
him.
This building nearby looks a lot like the consolidated Edison plant between 14th and
Unless you're
15th.
invisible.
That's about 2 miles away.
And as a thank you for saving her, she shot Carnage in the head. Well, fine. Save your own ass next time, lady.
He was fine. Carnage's durability doesn't come from a sturdy build. Instead, his form is malleable and somewhat fluid. Technically, his human body still exists somewhere in that mass of blood, flesh, and writhing tentacles, but even when he's hit by a train, struck by missiles, or blasted apart by a tritium bomb, he can always just pull himself back together.
So long as there's a piece of him still around. Given the size of that blast, it looks like Carnage survived a blast worth 125 tons of TNT.
Very impressive. Also, he once smothered and survived a gene bomb designed to wipe out all of humanity except mutants.
He's even survived being ripped in half and thrown into space. Seriously, what kills this guy?
Yeah,
He does share the same
seriously.
weaknesses as other symbiotes.
He seems
namely
almost immortal.
extremely loud noises and heat.
Oh,
Well,
that's
until
right,
he traded the
noises.
sound one
Noises.
for a weakness against some Cthulhu-looking magic.
Carnage has been through a lot, but with two minds as one, he always gets back up to keep doing what he loves.
Murder, murder, and, you know,
Murder.
more murder.
Carnage is chaos!
I don't know about that, VA. That voice actor for Carnage, I wasn't
There are
feeling
some mysteries the world holds which no one is meant to know.
Oh, here we go.
Every day, something, somewhere, comes ever closer to destroying everything you hold dear. One such secret is the Dicloni.
No big deal. They're just a race of crazy people who want to infect human beings to make more Dicloni and then wipe out all of humanity.
Oh my
Look at
God.
these little horns. They look like kitty ears.
I remember
To
that scene.
accomplish
You
this,
saw
the
those?
Dicloni would
Oh
have to
my
rely on their
God,
queen,
the gore in
God,
this show is like.
better known as Lucy.
Luckily for everyone, some important people figured this out and captured her. And now it's time for your only warning.
Right, Lucy's methods, let's just say they're not for the faint of heart.
Heck
And let's
no.
also say that those lucky important people were about to get very, very unlucky.
The gore in
Jesus
this
Christ,
anime was
what's
like
happening?
the worst
To
I've seen
truly
in
understand, let's take a step back. As an infant, Lucy was abandoned by her parents and left alone to suffer a life of constant discrimination.
It was the horns, wasn't it?
Right, even the
Yeah,
average
it was
kid
the
hates
horn.
growing up in an orphanage, but it was especially painful for her.
Until she found a stray puppy and decided to take care of it. That adorable little critter and her became best friends. And then the other kids from the orphanage went out and beat it to death and forced her to watch.
Like, what the No, stop. That
Well, no
screwed me
shit,
up
she
as a
wants to
kid.
kill everyone. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Lucy. Tear up those little bastards.
I would have done the same thing. I would have killed every kid there if they killed my dog. Well, if I was their age. If I was their
This
age.
was the first time Lucy unleashed her psychokinetic vectors. As a Diclonius queen, Lucy is meant to use these vectors to infect ordinary human beings with the Diclonius virus.
Oh, but
Wait,
she uses
what?
them for so much more.
For simplicity's sake, think of the vectors as invisible arms which can sprout from Lucy's back.
Lucy can use up to 28 vectors with a normal range of about 6 to 7 feet.
28 vectors? I thought it was just
her horns
4.
grow and the vectors get way longer and stronger.
She
I feel
can
like this
vibrate
is
her vectors
spoilers,
at different frequencies,
but
and
it's whatever.
Each level of vibration has different effects.
Kinda like that thing that my ex-wife had on the nightstand that I thought was one of those crazy pens.
At low frequencies, her vectors can pass through objects
This
with no
dude
effect.
loves to shit
At
on
a
his
medium
wife.
frequency, the vectors become solid, like extendable hands, while still completely invisible. These can be used as shields and lift heavy objects.
Oh man, if I had those things, I'd be messing with people all the time. Like tying their shoes from across the room.
I would too.
Also,
Not
since this seems to be a thing in this
fatal,
episode,
but,
she can
you know.
fly.
It's not really flying, she's just lifting herself off the ground. With the third frequency, Lucy turns her vectors into invisible blades. These can cut through people and bend metal.
And with the last and highest frequency, Lucy gets explosive. No, really, at this level, they finally become visible and can strike with enough force to detonate. Damn, they don't call this chick the queen for nothing.
I don't remember
Unfortunately,
this.
Lucy is not always in control of what she does. Turns out she has developed several alternate personalities.
Yeah, getting shot in the head can do that to you.
That injury specifically created New, a passive, almost childlike persona which exists as a coping mechanism for Lucy's trauma. As New, Lucy would finally find friends, and began forging a path toward hopeless redemption.
Unlike her third personality, the so-called DNA voice, which constantly whispers in her ear that she's got a job to do.
I remember
Them
that.
all, Lucy, before they hurt more puppies.
Oh my god, ads. Sorry about this, guys. I'll skip it real quick.
She could do it too. Lucy's fast enough to block bullets from a point-blank range. And
I'm
once,
sure.
she actually saved herself from a bullet after she had already been shot. As in, while the bullet was traveling between her skin and her heart.
It looks like she's getting shot by an MP5. which
But
fires
how if
bullets
it's
at
already-
nearly 900 miles per hour?
Shit,
With
I didn't
her
know
body
this.
type, the distance between Lucy's skin and heart is less than an inch, probably around 2.4 centimeters. Given the bullet speed and the distance her vector would have to reach from her back before the bullet hit her heart, her vector had to move nearly 1,900 miles per hour. That's over twice the speed of sound.
She can throw a pen through a guy's skull. Brutal. And even tossed this giant boulder.
When compared to this guy, Bando, whom we know is 6 feet tall, we can determine the boulder weighs about 75 tons. Her vectors are also tough enough to block a missile from the Air Force. While the exact model of missile is unspecified, it is fairly large and likely an air-to-surface type.
I bet it's one of the Air Force's SLAMs, or Standoff Land Attack Missile, built off the back of the Navy's Harpoon missile. In fact, a harpoon is used against a different Diclonius at one point. So this beast slammed into her vector at 500 miles per hour with a 1,000-pound explosive yield, and it didn't even phase her. Even without a vector shield, she survived a pretty nasty explosion herself, though it did knock her out.
Impressive, but how about the time she punched through an island? A strike literally compared to nuclear fusion. This kicked up a 100-foot tidal wave and a 9.2 magnitude earthquake. A level so high, there's only been 4 comparable quakes ever recorded.
Her vectors can be as wide as buildings and reach into outer space, except that's about when Lucy reaches her limit.
Right. As a Diclonius,
okay.
Lucy has a few severe weaknesses. Her vectors can be nullified if she's struck in the forehead, or if one of her
Oh.
horns are broken.
Also, if Lucy pushes
Big
herself
weakness.
too hard,
Very
she
easy.
starts to melt. Gotta like ice cream out in the Texas sun. It's not pretty. She's just a big puddle of goop with a face, but she's still a
Oh
total
my
badass,
God.
even at her meltiest.
While suffering agonizing pain, she was capable of single-handedly halting a massive military threat, while healing and protecting the person she loved most. Perhaps redemption wasn't so hopeless after all.
Hey, let's watch her kill some more people.
Oh god! Yep, I remember that. Oh, that's gross. That is so gross.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, you'd be crazy not to get in on this deal.
Oh my god.
By now, you've probably heard of...
Sorry guys. I just wanted to say one thing before I continue the video. Who do you think is gonna win? And who would you want to win? Now, if I were to cast my vote right now before the fight happens, I'm gonna say Carnage is gonna win. Because Carnage is extremely hard to kill. Honestly, I don't see a way Lucy can kill Carnage. He survived so many extremely difficult situations that you would think he was supposed to die. He has an obvious weaknesses, which is loud sounds, but I'm not sure Lucy is able to do that. And Lucy's weakness is very obvious. It is super obvious, and it is on the surface. Like, her weaknesses, she's got quite a few weaknesses. She melts, her horns, getting hit in the head. Those are very easy weaknesses to trigger to gain an advantage over her. While it's true, her vectors are extremely powerful, and she can get up to 28 vectors. She's kind of similar to Carnage in a sense, but I feel like the only way Lucy can win if she finds a way to kill Carnage. If she can find a way to kill Carnage, she wins. Like, despite how he's easily able to regenerate himself. So, in my opinion, I think Carnage is gonna win. But who I feel like I want, you know what? No, you know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna be that way. Team Lucy all the way. My vote goes to Lucy. Even though in the back of my head I'm thinking, you know what? My vote goes for Lucy. Who was your vote by the end of this video? Who was your vote before you found out who was the one that won? Alright then. Just wanted to make that known now. That's why.
Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S.
They
You
advert.
know about all the different kinds of delicious
They sponsor
foods you
this
can
a
make,
lot.
like the honey chipotle glazed chicken with poblano and lime rice.
That
There's
looks
plenty
really
to
good.
choose from, since they offer 12 new recipes each week. All you have to do is choose the 2, 3, or 4 that sound best to you, and they deliver it right to your door.
Plus, it's super simple to cook. It's got easy to follow instructions and perfectly proportioned ingredients. They're non-GMO, and the meat has no added hormones. My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands. You guys really need to try it out.
It's pretty nice
It
coming
looks
home
so
knowing I'll
good.
have a delicious meal I can whip up with ease.
So check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free at blueapron.com.
Oh my God, they're making me hungry. I'm not gonna lie, they're making me hungry.
Battle to get your first 3 meals free. But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Let's get it. Alright. Oh, it's in 2D this time. I approve. Did she just say new? Oh no. They didn't say New's persona's gonna be involved. Shit. This is gonna be a bloody battle. Oh, never mind. Lucy took over.
Die.
Ooh. Regeneration. Nice. She can't, he can, dude, he can't, yeah, see, he keeps regenerating. Come on, Lucy. Ooh, Get sick with it. Oh! Dude, is she gonna win? Please, please win. Oh. Whoa, that's a massive vector.
It's raining. You're bleeding. Carnage is starving.
The animation changed. Oh no.
Get back!
Whoa!
Does it hurt yet? Don't worry. I'll put you out of your misery.
It's gonna be a huge explosion, right? It detonated a huge explosion. He's gonna survive though, isn't he? I feel like he's gonna survive. Did she win? Yes!
First those kids at the orphanage,
Yes!
then Cletus. Lucy really hates dog killers, and for good
Oh,
reason.
yes!
Carnage was a challenging opponent. It was incredibly difficult for Lucy to deal any
She
lasting
won.
damage against him.
He
Oh,
had the
I was
durability
praying. I
advantage
was
in the
praying,
bag,
bro.
though
I was
Lucy
so
fighting
praying.
as a puddle proved she could take a lot of pain and keep on fighting. Sadly, Carnage came up short in pretty much everything else.
Right, Carnage was tough,
Really?
but not invincible. Even his surviving that gene bomb isn't quite as impressive as it sounds, since he had no other feats to even remotely back up planetary-level durability, and the bomb was more akin to a biological weapon anyway. While Carnage's tendrils could pass speeds of Mach 2, Lucy's vectors once reached into outer space. By timing her accompanying
Okay,
monologue
that's
and
different.
comparing the
I
longest vector's
forgot
length
that.
to the curvature of the Earth, it's clear she reached over 2,400 miles in 20 seconds max.
20
Way
seconds?
longer than
Okay.
Carnage's 2-mile feet.
I take
All
it
this
back.
means her vectors were
Lucy
moving
had
at
it in
least
the bag.
440,000 miles per hour. More than 500 times the speed of sound and 250 times faster than Carnage.
Good luck getting past that. And this was really the biggest hurdle. With Lucy's redonkulous speed and Carnage's healing powers, it all boiled down to one thing. Who could hit the killing blow first? I mean, Carnage could respawn from scraps, so the only way to beat him for good was to totally vaporize him.
And Lucy had the perfect answer to that. Remember that time she hit an island so hard she caused a 9.2 magnitude earthquake and a 100-foot tall tidal
I don't
wave?
read the
Such a
manga,
feat
but I'm
would
gonna
require
now.
An enormous amount of explosive energy, approximately 31,000 tons of TNT, similar to the
Damn.
bomb that hit Hiroshima.
It's literally compared to nuclear fusion in the Elfen Lied manga.
Elfenlied, it's German.
The point is, in order to beat Carnage for good, Lucy needed to totally obliterate him, and she could do that.
The heat produced within the initial impact of a nuclear explosion can reach temperatures up to 180,000 degrees Fahrenheit, more than 18 times hotter than the surface of the sun. And to top it off,
Shit.
heat was Carnage's biggest weakness. Even if Lucy's
Oh, yeah, that's
explosive force
true.
was
They
just
did
a
say
fraction
heat was
of
the
this,
biggest
it would
weakness.
still
That's
have
very
been
true.
far too much for him.
She just needed to smack him before he could power through her vectors, which chances were pretty slim for that happening anyway, because there's a bunch of them and they're so damn fast. Hitting Carnage with a big explosion punch was way easier.
Cletus and his symbiote may have had the endurance, but Lucy's space-worthy speed, overwhelming presence, and nuclear strength won the day.
She
Gotcha.
dealt the carnage needed
Nuclear
for a
strength,
total victory
overwhelming
and
speed,
took the lead.
trumped his
There,
regeneration
I said
and
it
his
right, Liz.
defense.
Happy?
The winner is Lucy.
I'm happy with this.
Thanks for
I'm
watching.
very
and
happy
if you
with
enjoyed
this.
the fight, you can get a first.
Don't get me
membership and watch
wrong.
our commentary by clicking
I
the
like
box
Carnage,
Thank
and
you,
I'm a
Chad.
big
And if
Marvel
you
and
want the battle
DC
music
fan,
from this
but
episode, you can get it in the link in the
I
description
had to
below.
vote for our girl Lucy.
You're not
She
Chad.
she was given. Oh wait, hold up. Oh, Optimus Prime versus who? Oh, Optimus versus a Gundam. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. I gotta see that too. That was so good. That was so damn good. Oh man. Well then, guys, that's it for this reaction. Get ready for Sword Art Online later tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction. Peace.